Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a bench press day. But a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below, be greatly appreciated. And everything went exactly as I planned today. I did floor press for my max effort lift. I felt like I had a small PR in the tank from the last time I did this. So I went about 5 pounds, went for 320 and got it. Now, of course, we know it's not true PRs, just PRs after all the recovery I've been through, moving, stuff like that. So the strength has been slowly coming back up. I have obviously hit more than this on the floor press on camera last year when I was at my strongest. So we're going to keep working that back up. So I had to do one thing very different than I planned today, though. Feet up bench press. I don't normally like these, but here's why. I tried to bench, and for some reason my hamstring cramped up. I massaged it for 10 minutes, tried stretching it, putting a foam roller in it, and it didn't feel right. And of course, it's completely gone now. Now everything feels great in it, and I had no idea why, but it tried to cramp on me when I went to set up and bench. Okay, that's not workable. So I'm like, well, let me just put my feet up, focus on some good pauses, control. And I ended up doing 5 sets of 8 with 225 that way. So I can't complain about the performance. The pec stimulation was crazy good. So very, very happy with that. So I felt my pecs, felt my front delts. And I went ahead and went with the one-arm dumbbells or rows again, which I did last time. And I did not try to increase these, but how the sets felt today, I need to bump the weight up on these just a little bit next time, I think. So one of the problems I'm running into with some of that is figuring out how to handle grip training, because I've realized I don't really want to do rep work on deadlifts coming up, and my grip is holding really well, but I need to make sure I'm getting plenty of grip. So I do worry with my rowing volume and then deadlifts doing that, of making sure that I'm going to have enough grip training. So we'll discuss that as we get a little further in, of why I went with hammer curls instead of any sort of supine grip curl. But the other stuff I did do the exercises I wanted to do, hit the floor press I wanted to hit, other than, again, the legs up bench press. But I ended up doing the same reps that I got last time I did 225. I got 5 sets of 8 with flat bench with pausing. But with this feet up bench, I ended up getting the same thing, which tells me I don't know that I'm using that much leg drive. But then again, I'm not doing much of an arch. I do normally heels flat, everything else. But it does tell me there's probably some technique room for improvement there for me at the moment with what I'm doing. So I need to work on that a little more. Maybe start working on arching quite a bit more, see if I can get my low back flexibility up, get tighter on that. Or I could just, brute strength my way through the benching. If I get thick enough, it probably won't matter. That's another thing to think about. We just work on brute strength. It probably won't matter that much. Just keep getting stronger, get all the muscles bigger, get stronger, get more explosive out of the bottom. And that's the main thing. So again, making sure shoulders are strong, working on lots of pause benching. Because my programming is not that complex right now. I've decided to just take a lot of the complexity out, go with the basics that I know what work. And my programming is less complex than some of my clients you guys see in the vlogs. But I know that it works well for me. I know what tends to make me strong and what gets the job done. And the beauty of it is I'm doing this without bulking. I'm not having to bulk right now. If anything, I think I'm still slowly getting leaner. At this point, my weight's kind of just staying stable. I may try to lose a little bit more coming up, but it pretty much stayed at around the same body weight, just over 220. But at this point, I almost seem like I'm recompositioning. The cardio, the diet, the special supplements, all that probably help. But I do need to just keep losing body fat. So I may go back and push a little bit of a deficit harder. But I've had people ask, well, you're in a small surplus, right? Strength is coming back up. I'm like, no, it's just coming back up from muscle memory, good programming, those things. So I'm not actually bulking. I'm not gaining any weight. I was in a small surplus, and then it's kind of stabilized with it. So it is what it is. And I might start slowly working in more and more less cardio over time. I think I have a game plan for that. I haven't done much of it this week, just due to weather. But I think I'm going to start doing more of my indoor a little bit. I might start gaming just a little bit. Again, riding my indoor bike, to get around some of the weather. Because I had been doing a lot more conditioning in the mornings. But just the last few days, I've really minimized it. It's been very, very little. Again, just because it's been cold, it's been rainy, it's been storming. We had flooding yesterday. Had a tornado last week. So I just haven't been getting up doing as much of it. And I'm still working some of it in, but it's not been what I've been doing. And that's okay. So I think I'll bridge the gap a little bit with a little more just working up list cardio like I used to do lots of, just while doing some gaming and stuff in between getting work done. All right, but these rows felt good. I like dumbbell rows. Part of me wanted to go back and work with Pendlay rows for a while, but I don't feel that I get the same grip training. That's really what it came down to. It really was a case of saying, well, if I work in some good mornings, I don't need the Pendlay rows to replace the deadlifting. I'll get all the extra posterior chain I need from that, low back, everything else. So what am I looking to get out of the rowing? Well, I need the rowing to bring up my back and everything, but I also need rowing to improve my grip. Well, what type of row do I normally do that does the most for grip? Those dumbbell rows. Now, normal standing rows do it pretty well also, a boar, bent over row. Okay, but I don't feel that I get as much strength out of those in development as I do the Pendlay. So really for me, it was the grip was the deciding factor. And yeah, the same thing when I went with the curls. I'm like, I'm not going to be pulling. I need my curls to improve grip. Well, hammer curls are a great grip exercise. I think those clips there from those angles do show what I'm saying, that I feel like I'm getting a little bit leaner still. The body fat seems to be just very slowly coming off. And those side views actually look decently lean. Not something that people think of historically for me, but it's been different the last year or two. It's been quite a bit different. And again, I probably need to continue that trend. But yeah, I think this kind of shows where I'm at a little bit better. And certainly not shredded, but definitely not fat. Again, for the bodybuilders, chime in. I don't care about your standards. Oh, also, we did normal Skullcrushers today. I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and I'm like, I really kind of want to do Skullcrushers. I'm kind of struggling to get in the groove on these the way that I want, because I keep hitting the uprights. But I like doing them this way because I don't have to deal with getting a bar in place, and I need to remember to slide as far down as possible, because a lot of these sets I tapped the uprights. And I feel like I could handle more weight on those. But then again, when I'm looking at the form, I didn't really look at it much loading this stuff into the program. Looking at the form, maybe I could get my elbows up a little bit higher. But I think a lot of that's me trying to avoid those uprights. So in this case, it almost looks like a really, really straight JM press instead of a true Skullcrusher, other than my wrist positions, right? I think this looks how people want JM presses to look. It's fascinating to me when I watch these angles. I feel like I was almost touching my face on these. That bar is still quite a few inches from it, but when I was doing them, I felt like it was stopping an inch short of my eyes, because I'm doing these directly above the eyes, whereas when you think of a JM press would be above the throat. But again, very, very similar exercises. So I ended up doing with these around 6 sets of the tricep extensions, just because triceps can handle more workload than biceps can based on the data that we have. I did 4 sets of hammer curls, and just to finish off my shoulders, I did supersetting with the last 2 sets of these. I did supersets with lateral raises. Probably not a bad idea. I haven't been doing any direct delt work for a while. It's just been all pushing, pulling, and then extensions and curls. Probably not a bad idea to do a little delt work. Of course, just over a week ago, I did do some upright rows. But you guys saw me right there hit that upright again. But again, my delts could use the little bit of work. And not so much the posterior or the interior deltoid, but more of the lateral delt. That could use a little bit more work just to finish it off. So I don't think it's a bad thing for me to come in and do a couple sets of laterals. And plus, my shoulder health is feeling really good. I wanted to avoid shoulder work for just a bit to see how my shoulders feel. And I know that usually my shoulders feel the best when I stick with flat pressing and rowing and don't really do anything above my head. Again, just due to my history of impingement and things. So I need to be careful with selecting shoulder exercises, but the smaller lateral raises, they've never irritated it. Because again, I'm kind of not going into those positions. So very happy with today's workout. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.